Out of the mound for the Grizzlies tonight, McCain Brown, the starting pitcher, 6'6", 225-pound right-hander. He's just 21 years old. He's an Illinois native. 2-4 record thus far in 11 starts, a 4.75 earned run average. And you look at his numbers broken down. He's pitched 55 innings and has struck out 78 batters. Only walked 15, so that walks to strikeout ratio, very impressive. He's allowed 50 hits, 29 earned runs. But when you look at his earned run average and say, well, 4.75 sounds a little high, he had a game early in the season, a May 5th game against Modesto, where he pitched 3 innings and gave up 8 earned runs, and that'll tend to skew the earned run average a little bit. Third-round pick out of Indiana University, a Big Ten honed talent. At Indiana, he threw a combined no-hitter against Penn State, and a very talented young pitcher for the Colorado Rockies organization. Mike, one of the things we talked about prior to coming on air was when you get a guy 6'6", sometimes, depending upon their motion, you got a lot of arms and legs flying around out there. Can that be distracting for a hitter?
It can. Tall guys can be tough. It all depends on their range of motion and what they do, but it looks like he throws pretty hard, so we'll just have to wait and see. But, 6'6" guys and taller are kind of tough.
For you, though, it was more, where's that release point?
Yeah, release points, if they come from the side, is a little bit difficult for right-handed hitters, but he looks like he comes over the top, but he throws pretty hard.
Well, the defense for our pitching matchups, again, McCade Brown for the Fresno Grizzlies. Mitch Myers will be the starting pitcher for the Stockton Ports. And our pitching matchup brought to you by Business Leaders with Lance Cardoza, Tuesdays at 11 a.m. on Fox 26. So the leadoff hitter for the Stockton Ports is their right fielder, Marcos Brito. And Brito takes the first pitch for a strike. And State Center Community College, our first pitch sponsor. Register for classes today. Fall semester right around the corner. State Center Community College. And McCade Brown ahead of the count, a ball and 2 strikes. And you like a pitcher that throws strikes and gets ahead.
He's working fast. That's good.
Pitch trying for the inside corner, misses, so we're even at 2-2. Defense for the Grizzlies, Kokoska in left. Benny Montgomery, the first-round draft pick in center. Guerrero moving over and in right field tonight. Sems at third, Amador at shortstop. Brito, the second baseman. And the new Grizzly, Cuba Bess, at first base. Braxton Fulford back at the plate, doing the catching, had a big home run last night. And McCade Brown, the starting pitcher for the Grizzlies. Pitch fouled back. 95-mile-an-hour fastball, getting that ball up there in a hurry.
He's been 94, 95 so far.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and he's got a strikeout. First hitter of the ball game. Jonah Bride coming up. And if you just did a double take, that's right. The member of the Oakland Athletics, the third baseman, is here on an injury rehab. He was in a collision a while back with Oakland. Suffered a shoulder injury. And he has gotten the green light to return to action, so he's doing his injury rehab here with the Stockton Ports. And he takes a first pitch strike. Brown, a 3-pitch guy. Fastball, generally, he will work 92 to 95 miles an hour, but he has hit the radar gun at a high of 97. Curveball, he'll drop that down a little bit. Has good spin on his curveball, good rotation on that curveball, and about 80 miles an hour is where he wants to be. And then he also throws a changeup, something that they have been working on. There was a curveball, but a little faster than 80 miles an hour. Chopped foul. Past Sems at third base. Count 2-2. Grizzlies victorious in last night's ball game. Coming back with a big 8th inning. Winning it by a 5-4 final. In the air. Best calling it off of first base, and he hauls it in for the second out. So 2 down.
Just from the first couple of hitters, I can already tell his fastball is really good. He needs work on his secondary pitches. He's kind of slow on his. You could tell he's going to throw a curveball or a fastball.
You say as if he's tipping, or
no, just the way his body is. He's big, and he slows down a little bit when he throws his breaking ball.
Grizzlies have shifted, playing Shane McGuire to pull. McGuire, the catcher, 296 average, has yet to homer this season. 16 runs batted him. Checks his swing, but it is a called strike.
But he's got a real good fastball.
Is it a 2-4 seam? Does it have movement of any particular
It looks like
type?
a two-seamer.
Pitch missing inside.
That was a changeup.
2 balls and a strike now with 2 down here in the top of the first inning. Glad you're with us on the CW 59. Moves him back off the plate, and it's 3-1. Swing and a miss, and the count now is full. If you've just joined us and noticed that uniforms look a little different than what you've seen the Grizzlies in, they're in the all-black Fresno Tacos uniforms tonight. Part of Tacos weekend here at Chukchansi Park. Swing and a miss, so it's a 1-2-3 first from McCain Brown, and the Grizzlies get their turn when we come back. Back here at Chukchansi Park, Grizzlies putting 3 on the board in their half of the first inning, as they sit on top of the Stockton Ports by a 3-0 count. Dan Taylor, Dre Avalos, and the hitmaker, Mike Richard with you. Former Hoover High and Fresno City College standout, Texas Rangers second baseman, and some interesting pitching in the first inning. You saw some things that are a little concerning out of the Grizzlies starter, and a lot concerning.
He throws his fastball is really good. He needs to work on the secondary pitches, but, so far so good. That's why you're in the minor leagues, is to learn stuff.
Danny Batista, the Stockton left fielder, leads off the top of the second inning. Grizzlies up 3-0. Glad you have joined us here on the CW 59. Grizzlies on the Stockton Ports from Chukchansi Park. Chop to Cuba Bess at first base. Goes to the bag. And 1 down. That'll bring up the first baseman, TJ Schofield Sam. McCade Brown got his first professional win against these Stockton Ports back on June 30th. Went 6 innings, only allowed 1 hit. Didn't allow a run or a walk, and he struck out 8 that afternoon. 6 innings is the longest he has gone this year. Ball's driven to deep right field, and it is gone. The shutout is over, and the Stockton Ports have a run on the board.
He hit that like he knew it was coming.
Well, the Grizzlies are eyeing him coming around third because he's really dancing and putting on a show. I don't know if that's a smart thing to do when you're down by a few runs, but some people will tell you baseball's a different game today.
Different game.
That'll work up Junior Perez, the catcher, 236 hitter. He's got some pop, 8 home runs this year, as the Ports put their first run on the board.
Yeah, I think they learned it from the big leaguers. Every time they hit a home run, they do antics around the bases. Didn't used to do that kind of stuff a long time ago.
If you do that,
you get drilled.
Exactly. Tenderize your ribs. Breaking ball misses, and it's a ball and a strike.
some of the pitchers I faced, if you looked at them wrong, they would hit you.
Was there one in particular that was pretty menacing?
It seemed to me all of them, they were like that.
And McCain Brown gets the call strike to even the count at 2-2.
I think I hit a triple off Dennis Eckersley one day, and he looked at me at first base like, that's the last time you were going to do that. And I never met the man.
Brown misses, and we've gone to a full count here.
I know when I was in Houston, Nolan Ryan was pitching on the team then, and even him, he didn't like none of this. He would throw right at you if he didn't like you, or thought you were doing something that disrespected him.
Well, at that time, pitchers used that additional weapon they had called fear.
There was a lot of fear.
So Junior Perez draws the walk.
The late, great Tom Seaver used to do that, too. If you looked at him or disrespected, swung hard, they would knock you down. But today's game, they got to live with it. People dancing around the bases after they hit home runs.
That'll bring up the shortstop, Alexander Campos, a .258 hitter. One down, one in, one on base. Chopper, advantage of having a 6'6" pitcher.
There it is.
And Campos is retired for the second out of the inning.
I don't think the second baseman was going to make that play if it got by the pitcher.
So to the number 8 hitter in the order we go, and that's the designated hitter, Marigano Ricciardi. A 184 hitter, no homers, 6 RBIs. Getting the start this evening. Swing and a miss. Brown trying to keep the ball away from him. Pushes him back off the plate, and it's a ball and a strike. Outfield medium deep. Guy that could have some difficulty out there is Montgomery in center. He's dealing with the sun. Might have to deal with the sun for another inning here. Throw back to second base, really to keep Junior Perez close, as opposed to actually trying to pick him off. Sliced foul. 3-1 our score. Ports getting on the board on the home run by T.J. Schofield Sam. After the Grizzlies scored 3 times in the bottom of the first. Time called. All the way to the backstop. And Karam's halfway down the third baseline, far enough for Junior Perez to scamper over to third base.
That was a changeup that got away from him. Held on to it too long.
I was just going to ask you, is it a grip issue?
That pitch was. He just held on to it too long and put it in the ground.
Swing and a miss, and that ends the top of the second inning.
But he went back to his fastball.
And that's his out pitch. Sports get a run. It's 3-1. Welcome back to Chick Chansey Park. 3-1. Grizzlies leading the Stockton Ports. Dan Taylor, Dre Avalos, And the hitmaker, Mike Richard, with you. Now the number 9 hitter, Jalen Green. And we'll go back to the top of the Stockton order, Marcos Brito and Jonah Bride. As McCade Brown begins his third inning of work. Well, the sun no longer a problem for any of the outfielders. The shade, just an inning after we saw the guys holding gloves up over their eyes. Shade has now taken hold, and that danger of fly ball being lost in the sun is gone. Chopped toward third. Sims to Bess. And the first out's retired. To the leadoff hitter, and Marcos Brito struck out back in the first inning. So Brown with 3 strikeouts and only 1 walk, and thus far just 1 hit. His best game so far this season, a 6-inning, 1-hit, scoreless effort against these Stockton Ports. Square to bunt. Did what you do when a guy squares to bunt. You throw it inside.
Yeah, it was a changeup again where he held on to it too long again.
And that's been the book on his changeup, that it does need some work. But as you say, that's what the minor leagues are all about.
That's what they're here for. Especially if you're in Colorado organization. You have to have secondary pitches in Colorado. You can't get by with one pitch.
And I've heard people ask, well, why is the Rockies AAA club in Albuquerque? And that's the reason, altitude. Get these guys prepared for pitching in Denver. Three into the count. Brown with a delivery. And he's got his 4th strikeout of the night. Second time, Brito has been retired on strikes.
I know the Colorado organization has tried everything in the big leagues. I know years ago when they would only let their pitcher go 2 or 3 innings and kept doing that every game. They wouldn't have a starter go past 6 innings, 5 innings. It was like an opener.
There's that big sweeping curveball. Gets the called strike. Jonah McBride on a rehab from the Oakland Athletics. Got into about a dozen games for the A's and then was in a collision in the game, injured his shoulder, has been on the injured list, and now coming back, getting back into playing shape, and doing so with the Stockton Ports. Pitch misses high and away. Down he goes on strikes. So 2 strikeouts in the inning, a 1-2-3 inning from McCade Brown. Going to the bottom of the 3rd, 3-1 Grizzlies. On a 5-1 lead as we go to the top of the 4th inning. Middle of the Stockton batting order, Shane McGuire. He'll be followed by Danny Batista and TJ Schofield Sam. And Mike McCade Brown has been throwing very well.
Very well.
McGuire struck out swinging to end the first inning. One of Brown's 5 strikeout victims through the first 3 innings.
He's got an easy motion for being so tall. The ball comes out of his hand pretty good.
And the fastball has been around 94, 95, 93, consistent with the fastball. But here he's gone to a 3-ball, no-strike count on the Stockton catcher, Shane McGuire. Grizzlies, if you missed it at the beginning of the game, they're in the All Blacks, a special uniform tonight. It is Taco Weekend here at Chukchansi Park, and the Grizzlies are playing minor league promotion that has certainly generated a lot of publicity for the Grizzlies the last few years as they play as the Fresno Tacos. They come out with a little different jersey color and design each year for this promotion. And those jerseys have proven to be very popular in the team store as well as through online sales. As Best retires McGuire unassisted for the first out of the inning. Danny Batista coming up, the left fielder, with a .241 average. In the air to center, Montgomery. 2 steps to his left, and there's 2 down. It was easy. And here's TJ Schofield Sam, who hit a rocket in the second inning out of the park.
Yeah, he had some easy innings so far.
Chopped towards second. Brito backhands,
Nice
flings
play.
it. Oh, terrific play. And on that gem, that ends the inning. A 1-2-3 inning for McCain Brown, and the Grizzlies are up 5-1. Well, McCain Brown out for his 5th inning of work, and he has been very impressive tonight. Only allowed 1 hit through 4. He has struck out 5 and walked just 1. And he's had the fastball working pretty well, Mike Richard.
Yes, he has. 94, 95.
So Junior Perez coming up. Back in the second inning, he reached on a walk. The fielder's choice went to third base on a wild pitch and was left stranded there. Bottom third of the Stockton Ports lineup just coming up for their second time while the Grizzlies hitters are working on their third at-bats. 6-1 Grizzlies. And a swing and a miss.
Breaking ball. Another one.
And he gets the strikeout, his 6th of the night. And Junior Perez is retired for the first out of the 5th inning. That'll work up Alexander Campos, the Stockton Ports shortstop, who hit that high chopper back in the second inning that Brown was able to field and avert the potential spot of trouble, because there was no way that as slow as that ball was hit and as high as it was hit that the second baseman was going to be able to make a play on it. Pitch is inside. And he gets the called strike.
If he gets that breaking ball or changeup close to the plate, it makes that fastball a lot faster.
Gets the called strike on the outside corner, much to Alexander Campos' frustration as he was beginning to take off some of the protective armor as if he had a walk.
Oh, another one.
Amador throws wide of the mark, but
I don't believe he would have had him anyway.
it was a tough play. And those are some of the lessons infielders have to learn, when to just eat the ball.
Eat the ball.
For you, was that a lesson at high school, college, and the pros?
Well, you learn the players, how fast they are, and you know, you can pretty much tell. But generally, I was always taught that to eat the ball. Don't make more throws than you have to. That's where the errors come in.
Well, you played for some great coaches, Jack Hanna at Hoover, Len Bordet at Fresno City College, and some good baseball men in the pros. As you see at the lower left-hand corner of your screen, Alexander Campos, the base runner at first. One down on the strikeout to Junior Perez. This is Marigano Ricciardi, who was a strikeout victim back in the second inning. Sliced foul. Big group here down the left field line tonight at Chansey Park. They've enjoyed the barbecue or the picnic area. The Grizzlies, even though Ricciardi is a left-handed hitter, the Grizzlies are playing him to go the opposite way. Guerrero is way, way over in right center field. Benny Montgomery is pulled way over in left center field. And as you can see, Ricciardi sends one into one of the suites back of third base. Now, is that where the pitcher's going to pitch him outside?
Generally, if you're going to play him one way, you should be pitching him outside. But he pulled it.
Guerrero able to get over, and
he gets by him.
It gets by him to the wall. This could be trouble. Ricciardi steaming around second for third. Campos comes in to score, and they're going to hold Ricciardi at third base.
That right there is they played him one way and pitched him a different way. They threw him a slow breaking ball, and he ended up pulling it. They must have had a scouting report to set up like that in the first place, but the pitcher didn't pitch to the way his defense was.
So assuming that would be a hit and potentially a two-base error that followed, we'll wait for the official score to rule on that. But the run is in. Mariano Ricciardi at third. Campos coming around to score.
Well, that's got to be an error on the right fielder.
Indeed, that is the way it's scored. A base hit for Mariano Ricciardi and a two-base error charged to Juan Guerrero out in right field. So Ricciardi at third base. Campos in to score. And our score here at Chansey Park, 6-2. Fresno Grizzlies on top.
See, they're playing back in the infield, so they're giving up the run. But he struck him out.
And down goes Jalen Greer on strikes for the second out of the inning. And that is the 7th strikeout recorded thus far through 5 innings.
See, for Stockton, that's a
Brown.
wasted at bat.
Indeed. Pitch knocks Marcos Brito off the plate. He has struck out twice. Chopped to first. Shoveled to Brown, and that's the inning. So the Ports get a run. It's 6-2 Grizzlies to the bottom of the 5th. Nothing like fun with Parker, the Grizzlies mascot, here at Chansey Park. And also nothing like a 7-run lead. Grizzlies on top 9-2. An ideal type of game for a pitcher, and McCain Brown has looked very impressive. His fastball has been very effective. He's got 7 strikeouts, and this is his 6th inning of work. Smash in the hole. Amador cannot come up with it. And Jonah Bride, who's down on a rehab from the Big League Oakland Athletics, is on base with a single. That'll bring up Shane McGuire, still looking for his first hit of the night. Strikeout victim in the first, and grounded one to Bass at first base in the 4th inning. Infielders in double play position. When you're in a situation like this, so you're just thinking, shortstop, get the ball to me quickly at second base if we got a double play?
Either the shortstop or me.
Yeah.
At second base.
Sliced foul.
Nice 2-hopper to either one of us, or turn the double play.
There you go. A ball and a strike to Shane McGuire, the Stockton catcher. And the Grizzlies with a little bit of activity now down in their bullpen. So this could very well be the last inning that McCade Brown works. 6 is the longest he has gone this season. Done that 3 times. There's the bullpen activity.
Fly ball left field.
Shallow left field going back Amador, and it's going to drop in no man's land between Amador and Kokoska. Sergio Sanchez, the pitcher, warming up down there. So McGuire with a base hit. And did nobody call timeout? McBride very alertly runs down to third base.
Well, I guess nobody called timeout there, or there was no time in between the base hit. So he's on first and third now.
Danny Batista coming up, looking for his first hit of the night.
You still need a double play here.
Absolutely. Grizzlies on top 9-2, top of the 6th inning.
See, this is the first trouble he's been in all night.
Catches the outside corner, and it's 0-2. Misses way wide with a fastball. Gets it in the air, and this should get the runner home from third base. Exactly what Mike Richards has been telling us about over the past couple of innings, and it doesn't. They're able to keep the runner. I don't know if that was a base running miscue.
He would have scored. The throw was offline.
Very surprising.
Unless, what was he down on a rehab? I don't know what was injury.
See if we can get another look at that. It's our Yosemite Falls replay. As Batista does just what you've talked about, Mike. He got the ball in the air to try and get the runner home from third. Benny Montgomery uncorks a pretty good throw, but
it wasn't a deep fly ball, but I believe it was far enough for him to score, and I believe he would have scored, but he stopped.
Well, for the Grizzlies, good fortune as the runner stays at third base.
There we go.
Ball to shortstop. This could be 2. No, Amador's just going to wing it across the bag first. Get the 1, give up the run. Grizzlies still with a sizable lead as TJ Schofield Sam grounds out to shortstop for the second out of the inning. So it's a 9-3 score now as Junior Perez comes up. Walked in the second inning, was stranded when that inning ended at third base, and struck out in the 5th. And McCade Brown gets a called strike. Sergio Sanchez warming up down in the Grizzlies bullpen. More than likely, we will see him to start the 7th inning. Called strike 2. Two down, runner at second base here, top of the 6th inning.
Well, he's pitched good enough not to give up any runs, but they got 3 runs. I don't know how they got the 3 off him.
And down he goes, the 8th strikeout for McCade Brown tonight. But Stockton gets a run. We're going to the bottom of the 6th, 9-3.
Would like to welcome the prominent groups of Chef Chancellor Park tonight.